When will my people listen to me? I have loved you from the beginning. I cry out for your return to me. Deuteronomy 7th chapter, and the 6th verse reads, For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself, above all the people that are upon the face of the earth. The Most High God loves us and calls us his special people. Black people of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, you have the DNA. The reason that we have suffered back and forth since the beginning is because of our disobedience. When will we realize this? Exodus, the 2nd chapter, 24 through 25 says, And God remembered his covenant with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. So God looked on the sons of Israel, and God took notice. Maybe if we could find out who we are and whose we are, maybe we would wake up and stop the killing and the murdering and the jealousy and the hatred and the envy of them.
Now let's take the traces back to where the song began. Here is what happens. The sons of Noah, we have Ham, Shem, and Japheth. Ham and Shem are the forefathers of the black races who are occupying the land of Africa. Now listen to this. There's a tribe of people in Lesotho called Bafokeng, whom we trace back up to the land of Egypt, who came down, as history tells us, traveling over the lands, crossing the big lakes and the rivers, descending their way down to the south, of which history somehow to an extent would get us to the time of the man called Joseph. In the Bible, in his time there was a pharaoh who was a Hyksos, as far as history is concerned, when you read from that book, from Babylon to Timbuktu. There we get to see a generation of people who were sent out of Egypt, and another race came in their place. The pharaohs who knew not Joseph. The Hyksos are relatives to what to call the Hebrew people, of which per suspicion Bafokeng traced their roots back in Egypt, and they did not come here per will, but something bad happened. They took them out, they sent them out of Egypt, of which we can say the Hyksos of that time are the Bafokeng, who are now residing south of the equator. We have other Bantu language speaking people in and amongst us, whose origins we trace back into the land of Yoruba and the Ashanti west of Africa. In Ghana, the places like Cameroon, these are the places which were settled by the Ashanti, the Yoruba, the people who were taken by vessels over the seas into the land of America to serve as slaves. But let me tell you one thing, not all of them were enslaved. Some of them made their way down south. They parted ways with their brethren who are this Yoruba and the Ashanti. But who are these Yoruba and the Ashanti? In the time when Israel ruled as a nation, there were two kingdoms, the northern and the southern kingdom. Israel itself, which composed of about 10 tribes, was extirpated by the Syrians and the Egyptians. Some people fled, coming down, entering Africa, going towards the west. They occupied those places and they were called the Yoruba and the Ashanti. These are some of the tribes which we are talking about, from whom the Bantu speaking people who are relatives also broke away, descending their way down to the south of the equator. Here we are today, the multifaceted people, multicultured people who are still having the traces of Bible issues in them, the traces of Hebrewism in them,